Welcome to another Death Head Dice Warmachine Hordes battle report. This time it's going to be Trollbloods versus Mercenaries. So we'll start off by looking at Ben's 20-point mercenary list. He brought Captain Demanio as his warcaster. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. For that I apologize. And he's also brought the Manus Brocker as a solo, mounted solo. He's brought a a min squad of the Steelhead Riflemen, as well as a min squad of the Heavy Cavalry. And because this is a theme list, he actually gets those at a point less. He has a min squad of halberds, as well as a mauler. So we'll take a look at my 19 points of Trollbloods. I brought Madrak Ironhide as my warcaster, or as my warlock. I've got an Axer Light Warbeast, a Dire Troll Mauler as my heavy, freshly painted for this game. I also brought a min squad of Creel Warriors, and brought the Janessa Stonetide as a solo, and a min unit of the Creel Stone Bearers. Hoping to get some protection from those guys. So we'll roll to see who goes first. And I win the roll-off, and I opt to let Ben set up first. So we're doing a scenario break the line, so both sides, or the middle of the table, is basically divided into 6 equal sections, and you can see those 2 little trees in the middle. That's the dividing point. The object is to hold 2 of your sections and 1 of your opponent's section, and that'll have you win the game. So you'll see those 2 trees. That's the dividing point. So and we'll talk about that a little bit as the game goes along. So we'll move into Mercenaries turn 1, and first thing Ben does is run up the halberds. And then does the same thing with the Heavy Cavalry and with Brocker as well. And I missed the moving up the Steelhead Rifleman, but he did that as well. And he also, at this point, is casting Death March on the halberds and Surefoot on the Instanus. So on to my turn. So I'm running up my Creel Warriors, trying to keep my brick, and moving up the Dire Troll. Force him so I get a point of fury. Running up the Axer, what I did is I used the Animus, which is Rush, which gave him plus 2 inches, as well as Pathfinder, so that's why he's able to move up there without any penalty. Next, Madrak activates, dumps some fury in the Krellstone, as well as walking up, and then he's going to cast Surefoot on one of the Creel Warriors, giving him that nice little additional bubble. Next up, the Creel Stone Bearers are going to move up as well. And lastly, Janessa is going to run across, keeping up with the pack there. And that brings us to the end of turn 1. So you see I've tried to keep the Trollblood brick going, but we'll see how that works out. And then turn 1 typically is just the positioning for turn 2. Speaking of Mercenaries turn 2, moving on to that. So Ben paid up his upkeep and now is moving his Steelhead Rifleman over. Get a better line at the upcoming brick, as well as moving the halberds over as well. And those guys are going to be nasty with having Death March still on them. Death March. So now Demanio is going to fire. He uses his weapon Judgment and pays 1 focus, which turns it into a blast weapon. So he hits and winds up doing damage, killing off the first troll. I fail my tough roll. Now the rest of them are affected by blast damage, so he boosts it. He needed 10s to hit and managed to get that. But I do manage to make the tough roll on that 1 troll. Next up, again needing 10s, he boosted it, managed to get it. Make my tough roll, fail that one. And then the last one caught under the blast. He didn't have any focus left to boost it, but still managed to make it, but I do make the tough roll. So 2 down on that one. Now he moves the Mangler up. And now Brocker is going to move up and fire his hand cannon at that Creel Warrior squad. Manages to hit, manages to wound, but I do make the tough roll, and he's already down, so we don't have to get him go down again. And now he's just moving the cavalry up as well. So we're on to Trollblood's turn 2. So I pay my my upkeep, leech back the focus from the 2 Warbeasts, And now what I'm gonna do is put the Animus, rush Animus onto the Axer. There we go. And he's going to wind up going in and charging the one cavalry unit on the side there. So he moves up. Needs a 7, I believe, or a 6 or 7 to hit. Now the one thing I realized is because I charged, I didn't leave any fury, allowing myself to boost, which would have been helpful at this point, as you will see very shortly. So I roll to see if I hit, and I fail, and there's not much he can do at that point. So next up, at this point, we sort of remembered the scenarios and realized that he was in a very good position with having some cavalry and such. So I'm trying to move myself over a bit so I can at least hold 2 different sections. Try to get Janessa to move up on that one spot, can't, and get her to drop down a wall. At this point, Madrak is just going to move up behind the wall. Now at this point, I thought for some reason that my Mauler could charge into that squad of Halberds, and realized I didn't, so I had to just move the regular movement. So that brought us to the end of turn 2. Now as you can see, those 2 trees in the middle, those are the dividing point for the 6 sections. Right now I'm holding 2 and contesting 1. He's holding 1, but he's got a full unit of cavalry to be able to move and into the different areas. So we'll see how turn 3 turns out. So on to Mercenaries turn 3. And first thing he does is Domano moves over. He runs them a full, I think it was 10 inches or 12 inches into that one section that's no one's holding. And then he moves his cavalry past the Axer. Now the Axer does get free strikes. He misses the first one, hits on the second one, and manages to kill off. Didn't show removing the model for some reason. And the third one he manages to hit, barely, but manages to hit, and manages to wound, kill him as well. So at this point, the one did end. So we're doing an end of Mercenaries turn 3, and you'll see we've got 1 cavalry unit there, 1 war caster there, and then half the squad of the riflemen in the third. So at this point, based on the break the line scenario, we have a Mercenaries victory. It was one of those cases where I think I just really wasn't paying attention. So congratulations to Ben. It was a good game. It was a quick game, but it was a good game. So just want to thank everyone for watching. Click on subscribe and like if you want to see more videos. And we've got other videos in our series. The first Batrep with Les and I playing Kador. And I just finished a painting tutorial as well. There's actually going to be a number of games coming up shortly, just because it's the season where we've got more people that are more available. So there's a couple games that have already been recorded, and I've got another game planned for this weekend. So we'll see more of that. And as always, if you have any comments, suggestions, corrections, want to see anything else, feel free to comment below, and you can always follow us on Twitter as well. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon.